let's bale some hay. Alright, this is SSL Family Dad with Simple Sustainable Living, and we are finally ready to fire this old thing up and see if it works, or if I can get it to work. I'm sure it works. It's a matter of me figuring it out. It's an Oliver 50. I believe it's a 1955, and has been run since last year. Did work fine last year for the guy I bought it from. So what we need to do is find all these grease points, and there's a bunch of them. Make sure that this is all nice and greased up. We're gonna get our twine set up and make sure it's routed correctly. I'm gonna check all the gearbox oils and all that good stuff, which is in here, I believe. Check all of our chains over. Make sure that it's sitting a little bit more level than this, so I'll need to adjust my hitch up here, probably flip over my bar. And then we're ready to get this thing fired up and get some hay in it, see what happens. I do have the manual for this. It tells you where all the fittings are, but you can usually find them all pretty easily. Any moving part, any joint is going to have one. Up here in the knotters, there's a bunch of them. I've already greased up most of them here, but it does say make sure you don't over grease them, because you basically get a bunch of dust and chaff and stuff that'll get stuck up in here and mess up your knots. So alright, so it's time to flip this drawbar over so I can get a little more height out of the front end here. The easiest way to do that is to get your wife to stand on the back.
Fast?
No. Okay, you can get off now. Much better. Well, we're all greased up, hooked up, and I think we're ready to test some things out. So I am going to try to use the older twine that he had in here and see if it runs through okay. Alright, so I've got two of his old twine that came with it, and it is biodegradable twine, but I think that it was kept good over the years, so I think I'm going to try to reuse it. I tied it off to the old twine so I don't have to re-thread it, and it says that you can do that in the manual, so we'll see how well it works. I want to feed through all this dirty twine here, and cat's helping, of course, and see how this works. So basically the twine goes through these little ceramic guides, and then up under these, called the needles, and there's an eye. It's basically like a big sewing machine. So up underneath there's those needles will go up on the top side of the bale each time, and allow it to knot and cut off, and then they'll come back down, and then they'll go back up again. So at least that's the way it's supposed to work. So let's see what happens here. looks like the chickens made a nest of eggs. Laid a bunch of eggs inside the baler, which is just awesome. There's a bunch of scrambled eggs coming out the bottom. But it is working, so I just have things running real slow here. Get things figured out. Make sure everything's running smooth. Make sure I don't see any issues with anything. What an awesome piece of machinery these things are. I mean, think about back in the 50s, before any computers or anything like that. You know, this was designed with graph paper and a ruler. You know, every little mechanism in here, every piece of mechanics, all the timing, everything. It's just crazy. So basically what we're looking at here is we're going to be running this down the rows. It's going to rake up the hay, pull it into this auger. The auger pushes it into the box. That little hook there will grab it and push it in. And then that ram smashes it into bales, basically. As this comes out here, this wheel spins, and then once it hits a certain length, that little timer drops, and then up in here is the knotters. That'll tell it when to trigger the needles to come up, and it'll cut and tie the rope in there around the bale, and then start another one coming through. So we'll see what happens here. I have always heard the hardest part about these is these knotters, and figuring all that out and making it work. So let's get out and see what we can do. Let's see if we can make a bale of hay. All right, we successfully have made some bales of hay. There's some stuff in here that's a little bit green that I'm kind of worried about in some of the areas where the stacks were thicker. But everything's really nice and dry, so I'm not sure. I'm an amateur here, so we'll see. May just have to feed this stuff to the goats first. I'll get it. I will. There's a knot right there. Now they look really loose right here, but as they go through, they get tighter. It's still a little bit loose, but they're pretty tight by the time they come out. This is a tensioner right here, so this is screwing these down, pushes down on this, which determines the weight of the pack of the bale. So. Summer, what do you think? Yeah? Can you grab that one? It's almost ready. Well, this is actually working really well with the trailer. The only problem is we can only go around clockwise around the field. If we go counterclockwise, this thing will hit the jack for the trailer, so it's a temporary solution. We'll have to get an actual hay wagon someday, but so far the baler's working good. We're running really slow just to make sure that we don't break anything, but we haven't made it one time around the field yet, and we've already got quite a bit of hay, so we're gonna end up a lot. I don't know how many bales yet. I have my own music back here on the hay ride, and we're getting pretty full. I don't have much more room to stand here. Still working great. We haven't made it around 2 times yet. Looks like I've got about I have about 40 bales, so should do pretty well.
Are we going out tonight for more? How come? It's dark.
All right, we got some help today. My friend John's out helping me stack. Baler's still running good. We got a lot more out here. We made it about 2 laps around this field last night, and it was about 50 bales, so about 150, 200 bales out here on this side. So as this thing counts how long the bale is, it lifts up this little hook, and it's just about to release. And then you'll see the needle swing forward and go up and tie the knot. Just a second here. Okay, so just loop that up into the knotter, cut that string, tie the knot off, and then it's starting the next bale. All mechanically timed, it's just running perfect. One thing I can say for sure, I know this from doing this as a kid, but it's a lot of work. It's 90 degrees today. It's nice for the hay drying out, but man, is it hot out here. But we're making good progress, so I'll show you what we're doing to get it all stacked up in the barn here in just a few. We're almost done with this main part of the field, and then we still have the other 2 fields to do, so we're probably going to get about 200 bales out of this field, it looks like, which is a lot more than I expected, so we're making hay. All right, so we've been unhooking the trailer because we can't get the tractor and the baler and the trailer into the barn. It won't fit, so hook the trailer up to my truck, bringing the hay stack in, and then stacking it on our pallet floor that we made with some reclaimed pallets we got today. So keep everything up off the ground a little bit, get some airflow underneath it. And we're trying to separate the hay as much as possible, keeping the drier stuff over here that we'll probably sell, and then the wetter first cut stuff that we got, first stuff we baled last night, it was a little wetter, and we'll feed that to our goats because they don't care. So progress is being made. Second field here, just about done. Got a few more little rows over here, and then this little side section, but just about done with this. And then we'll see if we can get around the, almost fell, see if we can get around the bend there and get that other field done, but it's getting late, it's about 8:30, so might be working in the dark. Well, it's the last day of baling. It's gonna be thunderstorming for the next 2 days. We got a break. It was supposed to storm last night, but I had all this hay out here still. So I've got my best help out here today. The 2 SSL family girls and the SSL family mom running the tractor. And I'm just stacking and taking videos, I guess. But this hay is really not ready to bale. It could have used one more day out here in the sun. But it is what it is. If I let it sit out here and gets rained on for the next couple days, it's gonna be wrecked. So we're just gonna have to use this up for our own consumption and use it up first. Look at all that hay. It's looking good. It's awesome to smell in here when you walk in the barn. Is just reminds me of working on the farm when I was a kid. It's cool. So, but I don't know exactly how many bales we got. I'm thinking our best estimate was pretty close to 400 bales, probably right around 350, maybe a little bit above that. So that includes, you know, everything that we have here plus the trailer. I wasted probably a good 10, maybe 10 bales out in the field. They were just too wet. There was some areas along the woods and stuff that was just bad. So I'm gonna have to rake off a bunch of hay that we left there. We skipped over a bunch of piles and stuff out in the field. So, but all in all, you know, it was a huge learning experience, and you know, we made hay. We made bales of hay. That's all I could ask for. I'm surprised that, you know, everything worked, all this old equipment, and we really didn't have any problems with the baler. So that was the thing I was worried about the most. So the first cutting is under our belt here. There's just a whole lot that we learned, and you know, the next cutting will be even better. Hopefully we get a good week of dry weather again, and I can just you know, get through and do this a little bit more efficiently. And it really makes a big difference on how it's cut, to how it's raked, to how well it bales. And so there's a lot that I learned, and we'll be able to do this a lot better. This took me a whole 7 days of cutting, raking, and baling. Almost every day I was out here doing something over that 7-day period to get this done, and some nights we were out till 10, 11 o'clock at night. So there's a lot of work to get just this much hay in the barn. But again, I'll make that, hopefully we'll get better at this process. But what a cool feeling to have this hay in the barn. It's been nice. So a lot of work to do out here in the barn though, a lot of repairs and things, and I'll be taking you guys along on all this whole process and what we're doing with our animals and all that good stuff. So as always, guys, thanks for watching. Throw comments and questions down below. Hit that thumbs up button on every video if you can. It makes a huge difference for me. And hit that little bell next to the subscribe button. That helps you get alerts when notifications when we post new videos. So as always, guys, thanks for watching. Have a good one.